Hello flower friends! In today's video I'm going to show you how to make a monochromatic arrangement. That means a one color arrangement, and today I'm going to be using red flowers. My name's Ellen Frost. I'm the owner of Local Color Flowers and I've been a florist for over 15 years. I write a weekly newsletter all about flowers, which you should definitely check out, and I host an online community called FlowerMore, where flower nerds get more flowers in their life. So in today's video, I am going to show you a monochromatic design. This is different than a lot of the designs that I make. I usually make mixed color arrangements, but today for our FlowerMore monthly challenge, the challenge is to make a monochromatic design. So I've chosen the color red. I actually have been really liking red these days, and red in all seasons. And there are so many beautiful red flowers available right now, so I thought I would try an all red arrangement. And I'm using a small white bowl. I've got a flower frog inside there. It's already puttied in. And then I'm going to use a piece of chicken wire on top of the frog. So these two mechanics do different things. The frog is going to allow me to let stems stand straight up and down, and the chicken wire is going to let me put flowers in at an angle. So I've just made a tube, and then I'm going to fold in the ends to make my chicken wire burrito. And then I'm going to stick it right on top of the frog. There's no, best way. Just stick it on top of there. And then I'm going to use a couple of pieces of waterproof tape to tape the chicken wire in so that it doesn't move around. As I begin my design, you'll notice that I'm not going to use any foliage. And this is a lot different than the arrangements I normally make, because usually I start all my designs with foliage. But even though we think of green as neutral, oftentimes in floral design, it is a color. And for this arrangement, I really want it to be all red. And I don't really want it to be green and red. So I'm skipping the foliage this time. And I'm using my pin frog to start with my largest flowers. These are dahlias, and they're in a really rich red color. One of the challenges with doing monochromatic designs is that your design can often feel flat, or it can feel a little boring, especially if you're not varying the textures and the shapes and sizes of your flowers. So today I'm starting with these large dahlias. And then next I'm going to use a couple of different shades of red Sweet William. And Sweet William is great because it's more of a background flower. And what I'm going to use it for today is to add some background color to my arrangement and also to cover up my mechanics. So I'm going to cut these pretty short, and because I really want the dahlias to show off. Those are the focal flowers in this design. So if it was a different season and you had some red foliage, I think you could definitely include some red foliage. Something like smoke bush, or even some of the 9-barks have sort of a reddish tint to them. But since I didn't have any, I really did not want to take away from the really rich red of an all flower, all red arrangement. So you can see I've got a couple different shades of Sweet William. One is a little bit more red, one is a little bit more burgundy. And that's one of the tricks of making a monochromatic design, is that you're using all shades of one color. So these really dark, deep colors, some brighter, more, middle of the road reds, and then also I'm going to use some more dusty and even bordering on pink for some contrast. Another trick that you can use to make sure that your arrangement doesn't feel flat or boring is to vary the lengths of your flowers and to really use a lot of negative space. So you can see I'm not mounding my flowers together. I really want them to show off individually so that you can see all those different red shades. And because I'm not using foliage, I want to just be careful that I can cover up all of my mechanics, and that means cutting some stems really short. So these stems that are going to go right along sort of the edge of the arrangement to cover up my mechanics. Sweet William is a great filler flower because it does come in a lot of different colors, these shades of red, but also white, pinks, purples, and they have great strong stems. All right, so I'm going to stop there. I have this one really pretty dusty red lily that I'm going to include. And you can see again, like I said, I'm using a lot of negative space. I really want every flower to show off, so I'm not crowding anything. And I'm using my pin frog to keep these flowers in place. All right, next I'm going to use, this is my favorite red flower. This is an anemone, and it has this really cool blue center, but the red is so vibrant. I think for any red arrangement, anemones are really special. I'm going to use a few of those in my arrangement. All right, I've got a little bit of ranunculus, and these ranunculus are all different shapes. So this one has a little bit of green in it, but not too much that I think it's going to take away from the red effect of the design. You can see I'm angling these out and giving lots of room around my designs so that you can really pick out each individual flower shape and size, and that each red flower is really showing off. One of the things that we like to make is these red twig dogwood hearts, and they're just a fun little addition that you can add. So I'm just going to take 2 pieces of dogwood, red dogwood, and they're really, when you get them fresh, they're really pliable. So you could, if you wanted to just do a loop, like that could be cool. Actually, that does look cool. I'll show you the heart, and then I'll decide if I'm going to do a heart or a loop. So I'm just taking my dogwood, making a loop like this, putting another piece next to it, making a corresponding loop. And then what I'm going to do is just use a couple little pieces of bind wire. The thing with the bind wire is it's pretty easy to use, and you can just twist tie it. And there you have it, a monochrome arrangement in all red.